the 28th of June 2021, and we're doing something probably fucking weird, and I don't know if it's going to work, but Graham, thanks.
Yes, we are going to try something a bit different.
If there's any sort of weird, the ball's in the water. It's because we're playing PGA 2K21 while also recording a podcast.
Mm.
Wait. I'm not meant to be. Am I meant to have Audacity open?
No, I'm recording it all locally. It's all good.
Sorry. Wait. We haven't done a proper podcast in ages.
At least 2 months, we think. We haven't really kept track.
I think the date I have on my notes. Yep. The date I have on these notes is for the 6th of the 6th.
Yeah, so it's only been a month. No, that can't be right. It's only been a month then.
I think I changed that at some point.
Okay.
Because the date before that, the date before that was the 23rd of the 5th. So no, that's about right.
Oh, so it hasn't been as long as we think.
It's just that everything going on makes everything feel like 4 times longer.
Yeah, we've had a E3 preview podcast, a It Takes Two play session between that, and an E3 reviews one. So this would have to be
two before the preview too.
Yes, this is about 5 weeks since the last one. It sort of feels like that, but it's only been a month. So long as we thought, but anyway, that's what it is. So we are playing PGA 2K21 on the PC. We're going to put this up as a video and a podcast. The audio is going to come out of this video recording, so I apologize ahead of time if this audio is crap. I'm not going to do any audio to editing on it. It's just going to be as is, as an experiment. We've reduced most of the audio from the game down to nothing, so hopefully it's just us playing or us talking. We're going to be playing the TPC Scottsdale course, and that's basically about it. Really, it's just going to standard straight play. We think we've got the settings set that if we can sort of watch each other play their shots out, so it should be somewhat.
Turn order meant to be on or off?
What's that?
Turn order in the settings. That's what I can't remember if that needed to be off or on. We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, if we have to go and change it, we will. Alright, I'm going to go ready and see what happens.
I am readied up also, which is going to sound weird for people not seeing the video.
Yes.
But it's been a long ass time since we've talked about what we've we talked a little bit amongst ourselves what we've played, but even then I tend not to like talking. This is going to sound harsh. I don't like talking to you.
Makes feelings mutual. Fuck off.
No. I don't like talking to you about what I've been playing because I kind of prefer it as like almost a surprise, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
So I don't know. I know a couple of things you've played. We talked briefly last week about some of the demos on the Steam Next Fest you'd played.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I've got no idea what you've played. You might have seen some of what I've played, and also some of what I've played shouldn't be a surprise for anybody.
Yeah, a little bit. I've primarily been stuck to what I've been playing for most of this year. So I've been still playing Satisfactory. The big update 4 they put out sort of early March is I'm only just got my factory sort of back up and running to the level I wanted it to. So yeah, basically.
Oh, you prick.
So like mainly this time I've been just playing that, trying to do a little bit more of other games, but not really doing much more. Main other game I've been playing, I played a bunch of the demos off the Xbox E3 thing they did.
Quietly.
Thank you. So played a bunch of those. Rift Breaker was a good one. I like that.
You already played that. You sort of knew you were going to be.
I played that on PC and found the controls really kind of awkward.
Okay.
So I think this one, because this particular version or this port is just for consoles, I think the controls seem a little bit more precise. So it's also coming to Game Pass when it's due out, I think, as well. So that's probably where I'll play it.
On PC or on Xbox?
Oh, on Xbox. I think I'll play it on Xbox. Yeah. I didn't buy it or anything on PC at all. I just played the demo of it when And that was with last year's E3 thing, I think, was when I played that.
Yes.
Nice birdie there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been playing that a little bit. As I'll go back to that and I'll play it on Xbox when it comes out. I played a couple of other demos there. Just let me take this shot first. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Sorry. It's gonna be weird for people like listening to this because like at least for me, I'm gonna probably talk a bit of trash because that's what I do.
Mm.
At least I'm not gonna be a dick. Well, no, I don't want to say I'm not gonna be a dick about it because actually, but it should also be stated I've got like 23 hours in this.
Yeah, and I've got less than one.
You've got less than 2.
Yes.
So if people are wondering on the video why I drove that last par 4 almost in one, like with my driver, whereas you fell way short, it's because I've got like basically the best clubs that I've got available to me.
Yeah, you've got a much better character.
Oh shit! That's right.
Yeah, so I've been playing a couple of demos off that. So the other one I played was Sable, which I think was a game that was sort of fairly heavily featured in a couple of the various streams that were on.
Keighley, Nintendo, I think Microsoft
thing as well. So it's a very
maybe.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So it's basically a game that I'm not really sure how to describe it. So the demos that we were playing on the Xbox, and I assume that probably might have been even to a degree on the PC as well, were very
never touched any of them.
Were very well, definitely Xbox. They were like demos you would see on the show floor at an E3.
Yes.
So very light on for basically any detail. Ah, shit.
Yeah. Graham's on the beach.
Yeah. So no tutorial, no introductions to why you're doing anything. It's just basically
that shit house.
A time. A slice of the game sort of thing. So it's hard to sort of explain what Sable is because of that. So visually it's really cool.
It's sort of cel shaded.
Yeah, cel shaded and sort of really lots of lines and sort of stuff in it. So it's quite interesting from a visual perspective. But yeah, so it's hard to really say what this game's actually about because I honestly don't know.
You ride a jet bike.
Yeah, so you play the jet bike thing. I think you've got something where you're trying to build that thing and get out of an area, but as I said, I'm not really sure. It's visually very striking, that's for sure, and really cool from that perspective. Not too sure I'll jump into that game when it comes out, but it's certainly something I'll keep an eye on when it does come out, just to get a better sense of what that game actually is when it does come out.
Oh.
That
was just because I left the putt just to the left of the hole for anyone listening.
Yeah, so I played that. I've also played Tunic as well, which is the other one I played on that demo.
Yes.
Which I think I have played at a I think at PAX. I went out last year, but maybe the year before.
It's been development long enough that you probably had.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure if I actually have or not. I think I have. So yeah, so I played that. That's really neat. I'm not going to go back and play that again until the game's out, which God knows when that actually is these days. That game's been a long time.
It hasn't gotten an announced date. I think they're targeting this year, though.
I think they're targeting this year, yeah. So who knows if they'll meet that? But oh, that's not a good shot.
No, it wasn't.
So yeah, so I've been playing that. I've also played, still playing Cozy Grove to a degree, but not that much. I've really fallen off it the last, probably the last couple of weeks. I've played it for probably 35 plus hours, I'd say.
Those sort of games with the daily sort of tasks.
Yeah, just the daily tasks.
When you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Just do what you need to do. Spend that little, like an hour and 10 minutes, whatever it takes to do it, and then that's it.
But if you don't do that daily, you're done. You're never going back to it.
I think so. Yeah, I don't really think there's much point. I mean, yeah, the game is not bad. Like it's got interesting stuff to it. Oh, that's an overshoot. But in terms of the moment to moment stuff, it just isn't that. The stuff is just not there. it's just not what I want to play. It's just too grindy. It's too very much the same. So there's a couple of characters in there that give you various quests that you do each day. And I'd say, oh my god, that slopes a lot. There's one of them that just I've had the same type of um, quest given type sort of thing at least a dozen times. When you played the thing as much as I have, to see the same thing over and over and over again is just really boring.
That is a decent little chip, that one.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, so I don't think I'll go back to it really. I would like to have continued with it, but the characters just aren't drawing me through it. So
once you fall, like I said, once you fall off them, that's
it. Yeah, it's hard to come back.
The same with Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly. Outside of that, I played a little bit of Biomutant. Now I've only played probably about an hour of Biomutant, so I haven't got a real lot to say.
Yeah, that came and went.
Absolutely came and went.
Thoughts?
I kind of like it. As I said, it's early for me, so I can't really give it a really good comment on it. I like the gameplay, what I've played of it so far, at least. Visually, I think it's quite neat. There are some aspects of its presentation that are a little bit on the nose already. I've only been playing for like an hour, but yeah, I think I kind of like it. I'll definitely be going back to it. There's a big patch that came out just a couple of days ago as a recording, so I'm going to basically wait until that's in and any issues from that have been ironed out.
So that's not going to fix some of the other issues that a lot of people have been having with.
No, it's not going to fix this stuff, like not necessarily the gameplay stuff. It's not going to fix what people don't like. The overall presentation stuff. It's going to fix bug fixes and stuff like that. And some of the progression stuff I think was ironed out as well. So yeah, definitely very interested in going back to it. I think I do like the look of it. As I said early in the gameplay, so I'm not really sure that it's going to hold my interest. But yeah, I did like what I played of it. Oh, this is a tricky part.
Do you have part preview turned on?
Yeah, what is that again? What button do you
hold down the A button?
Hold down A. That's what it was. Oh yeah, okay.
Because like you can when you go into the difficulty, you can turn that to unlimited. So I use that.
Yep. All right. Cool. So
oh, you're concentrating on your putt.
Just give me one moment.
So the dead air. Oh, it's rolling down the hill.
Nah, miss it to the left.
Nah.
I need to go to the settings and turn on so I can get that all the time.
You should be able to do it as of now, I think.
Difficulty.
Boom. Because yeah, that's one of the things, like some of the lower difficulties on PGA I'm talking about. Like I can't see the sort of lie percentages that you should be able to see on mine, which is part of the difficulty settings. But I also turned down the swing sensitivity because, man, that was a fucker. Oh. Some people might say I'm cheating.
Oh, our characters are our characters. I'm not fussed with it.
No, I meant just because I've got the unlimited putt preview turned on.
I think I've got it turned on too, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about Biomutant. Yeah, so early stage is looking good, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll give a better answer in a couple of weeks. I'm hoping once I've actually had a chance to really play it. Oh my god. You've gone through the bloody green on the
Son of a bitch, the green didn't hold.
Suffer.
Yeah, I know, right? So satisfactory.
Yeah, satisfactory.
Have you gone back to Dyson Sphere?
Not really, no. Again, waiting for that to progress a little more in terms of its development, which probably isn't that far away, really. The other thing I've also played a fair bit of was I played a fair bit of. I had a mate of mine who I think I mentioned this on maybe the E3 review pod.
The E3 review, I saw you on the old Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, so a mate of mine got back together and we played Sea of Thieves. We got in and played the first tall tale of the A Pirate's Life DLC. It's really fucking good. It is really cool. Oops.
Like good in that it's a solid Johnny Depp, or just good in that the content's interesting to play?
So the content is all PvE. There is no
Which,
PvP stuff in it at all, which is what I
yep.
really like about it. Because everything else about that game has been PvP, PvE, and it's just really, I just don't like it at all. So yeah, so basically you start off with the first sort of tall. Like there's five tall tales in this thing, all around the sort of the Jack Sparrow character. Um, and the first one probably took us 3-ish hours to get through, which is a decent length of time in terms of playtime content. And it's like all puzzle stuff and platforming and stuff like so. It's really really neat. It's all
Yeah, platforming.
fun.
How does it handle platforming? Does it feel alright, or
It feels good. Yeah, it feels fine. It's a little bit can be a little bit hit and miss because if you miss time a jump, you'll fall short and you might fall and hurt yourself. You won't necessarily die, but you might fall and do some health damage to you, health stuff. Um, but yeah, other than that, the platforming is not bad. The puzzle stuff's really neat. Like it's relatively straightforward. There is some stuff that is really really like what's what I'm looking for? It's like um, so yeah, so you have. I'm just doing this shot. Um, yeah, so some of the platforming can be no puzzle stuff. Sorry, so there is some puzzle stuff that's really really intricate, and you've got to do
okay?
a bunch of steps to do it, sort of thing. And the only way you can kind of do that stuff is to look up a guide. There was
Yep.
one thing we found. There was this room that we went up to that had a key. So okay, we'll just go find a key. There's bones to be around, plenty around, and every time we found a key, we went back to this door and it never unlocked it. Never unlocked it. Um, so we've ended up finding. We ended up going, well, how the hell do we open it? Oh, look up a guide, and we'd already
Yep.
gone past a certain point where we couldn't actually
Yeah.
complete this thing. So
I
that's
hate
a
it when
really,
that
really
happens.
frustrating. But it was really some of the stuff was really really neat in terms of the character stuff and the voice acting is really really neat. Yeah, so it's just some stuff that's really really good about it. It would have been nice if it had a bit more of an indication that there was sort of point of no return
Sort of just
sort of stuff. But
signposting some of the objectives a bit better.
yeah, and some of this stuff is not like it's not required for the story, but it would have
Yep.
been nice to have known that if we did a particular thing, we would have prevented us from doing that sort of side thing. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But oh, that's way too short. Um, yeah. So other than that, what else have I played? I actually rebought, and I don't know really why I did this. I did this on a bit of a spur of the moment. I bought Relitica on
Relicta.
Xbox. I don't know why I did this. I just did. Did it the other day.
I was gonna say you had that on PC, didn't you?
Yeah, I had it on PC. I have no idea why I bought it on Xbox. So anyway, so I played that for about an hour or so on Xbox last night. Looks really good, 4K 60. Looks really solid. Yeah, the game is what it is. So I'm not going to go into that too much. I've played Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Probably put because that came out, I think maybe just before or just after we last recorded, last one of these podcasts anyway.
Just after, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I played probably an hour or so of that. It's Mass Effect. It looks really fucking good. Plays really well. So not much to say about that really.
Have you gone to the Mako yet?
No, I've only literally got to
The tower or the Citadel?
The Citadel. I've just become a N7 Spectre character. Thank you. And I'm just about to go and chase down Saren, who is the main boss in the first.
Dipshit.
Yeah, that one.
Oh fuck! I overshot the shit out of that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so that's basically. I think that's all I've played. I'm sure I've played something. I think I went and did the most recent DLC for Immortals: Phoenix Rising, which is kind of a sort of Diablo style thing that they've done. I'm not sure I like it, which I know is really odd.
That makes me glad the decisions I've made on regarding that game.
I've overshot it too. It's got a fixed. So again, with one of the other DLCs, they've taken away some of the what's the one I'm looking for?
Abilities.
Ability stuff that goes with it. Remove some of that. which makes sense, I guess, because you're not playing the same games. That kind of makes sense, I guess.
Oh shit.
But what they've also done is like it's this Diablo style thing, as I sort of mentioned. But the bigger problem I think with that is that you've got like left and right control, but no up and down, so it's a fixed height. And the amount of times I've gone to play and do something, why can't I want to be able to look up and down or look further ahead by
zoom out
by looking further by going down in view and sort of stuff, but it doesn't do it, so it's a bit sort of counterintuitive that you can't do it.
Sounds very Darksiders Genesis.
Yeah, I guess so. I got that on enough. That's gonna roll very nicely.
That actually worked out quite well. I tend to really move away from chipping in this game. I tend to misread the chips really poorly, so I always use the pitch, which sometimes works out where I've got a 20-foot putt. But yeah.
What else have I played? I played a little bit of Titanfall 2, just to have a play with it again. No particular
that's right.
reason.
You restarted the campaign when we last recorded.
Yes, I did. So I haven't gone back to it, but yeah, I have gone and played that a little bit more. Now, what have I played on PC? I don't think I've played that much on PC.
You talked about at least two of the demos
Sea of
last
Thieves
week.
I've played. What have I done on PC? Just checking into my library to see what I've done. I honestly can't remember. Recently played. Here we go. I downloaded a couple of demos. So obviously we've been playing It Takes Two. That's obvious. So we've been playing that together. So that's obviously one. Yep. But I did play. I downloaded a couple of their demos. As they were doing some. They did the same thing that Xbox was doing. So
My Time at Sandrock.
Sandrock, yes, that's basically the follow-up to.
My Time at Porsche. You talked about that one at the end of our review.
That's right, I did too. Yep.
There was one more I think you mentioned that you downloaded but you hadn't played yet.
Yes, there was a one called Lens Island, which I'd played. I need to change this club big time. Why can't I? There we go. Not sure why it chose that club for the beginning. Very odd.
I got given like a 4 iron for this hole. I'm like, dude, I can drive this. What are you doing?
Yeah. So I play. Yeah. So I played that demo. It's like a top-down version of sort of Valheim in a way. Well, it's a bit reductive, but that's essentially what it is. Survival game.
Yeah.
Not bad, but yeah, I'll probably wait till it's out to see if it gets sort of different. I played a game called Infraspace Demo, another city builder game set on a planet. I found that really awkward to play, not particularly intuitive in some aspects. So I may wait till that's actually out before I have a look at that. Oh, I like that for a chip. That's good. I also played.
The dirty mode your dude has freaks me out.
Yes, I need to go and change my character to look a bit more like me. When I made that character, I didn't have.
It's dirty ass, but it's hilarious. You just need to pimp him, get some clothing, get some swag on him, like my dude.
And that's probably about it.
Shitty Christmas sweater.
That's about it, really, on the game front. I think. Yeah. Watching wise, what have I watched? I went back and did a similar thing that you did a while back. I started watching Numbers, the TV show Numbers.
Oh yeah.
That's on 7 streaming app, if I recall. One of them,
really?
7, 10, I think, one or two. At least the 4.
Should be on. It was on Channel 10 back in the day.
Yeah, I think it's now on 7. I don't know why that's changed. It might be on 10 as well. I don't know. That's where I found it was on 7.
Channel 7 has the rights for The Simpsons now.
Okay. Ooh, that's a big swing.
Man, good old Numbers. I love that show.
And I've also so what's the first probably 2 or 3 seasons of that? Oh, that's a bad part. First 2 or 3 seasons of that. I also watched a couple of old episodes of CSI from years ago because that's coming back. Bringing CSI back.
Right, are they doing a reboot of it?
Yeah, basically calling it CSI Vegas.
CSI Remaster.
Yeah, exactly. So they're bringing that back. So I watched a bit of that to get an idea what that was like. The other thing I watched was actually new content. Was I watched the Disney Plus series, Star Wars Bad Batch, or the Bad Batch. I can't remember what it is. It's an animated thing on Disney. It's
Yes.
really bloody good. It's really cool. It's about some clones that aren't that are sort of defective in a sort of way, and they become like superhuman kind of thing, or really good at what they are, and it just follows their sort of travails around the place. Um, so yeah, like it's really cool. Like it's really good. The first episode is really good setup one. Um, yeah, and
It's
it's
the
really
first
good.
whole path where I can't drive.
Oh, Diddums.
Yeah, I know, right?
Um,
So we haven't even finished the we haven't finished the front nine, and we've gotten through you. We're probably going to need like another, at least a second round to get through mine, possibly. Because holy shit, do I have a lot.
All right, start again.
Part of that's just like dabbling. Part of that is just I've just been sort of not necessarily bouncing around, just the time it's been since we've last recorded.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So
a lot to do.
I finished Immortals.
Okay, yeah, what do you think?
I'm kind of torn on how they handled Discovery. Like the Farsight stuff where it doesn't show up unless you either like use the Farsight to see it or it pops up as you're running around. Like, I don't like missing content. So when the old Assassin's Creed games, when you climb the towers, it shows everything. And you get the maps for the treasure and shit.
Yep.
So it's kind of like the combat stuff was fine. But just that missing out on some of the content was a little
I can see that.
But it was fine enough. But I was done with it by the time I was done with it, so I haven't had any desire to play the DLC. Particularly hearing that the DLCs haven't been great.
Well, the first DLC and the second DLC are much like the first about the game. So but in terms of the second one, the third one is different. But yeah, I'm not too sure it's good. But yeah.
But I've also played the first level of Darksiders Genesis, so it's not exactly the same thing, but similar.
Yeah.
I finished Rogue Heroes.
Just break in there. But after the first 9, Steve is on 7 under, I think. And I've just managed to get myself with a birdie on the ninth hole to get back to even. So
there you go.
There for the podcast listeners, that's where the scorers are. All right, you go.
So yeah, finished Rogue Heroes. I ended up learning how to manually download cloud saves from Steam because I accidentally deleted my save.
Ooh, oops.
Literally outside the cave for the last boss.
Oh, okay.
I almost cried at that point because I was like, I really want to finish it, but I'm not playing that 15 hours again.
Yeah. So how'd you delete it? Just by deleting it by mistake off the...
Accidentally pressed delete and then yes.
Oh, okay.
Just like in rushing to get back in, I just,
Yeah, okay.
So I ended up getting it back. Only lost like half an hour, or maybe like an hour or two, if that.
Yep.
I only got 6 achievements left, which are all sub 10% completion. One was 7%, and all the other 5 being less than 3%. So I did most of what I was going to do. There's still development being done on that to unlock, open up certain caves and things like that to go into. So I'll go back to that when that's done. But that is a real. If people like the sort of Link to the Past style Zelda games, but with the roguelite progression elements, they're going to like Rogue Heroes.
Yep.
There is some difficulty, obviously, in the combat in the. Nicely done.
That was lucky.
There is some difficulty in some elements of the. Oh, nothing wrong with that though. But not difficulty in like a Souls way.
Yeah, sure.
So it's designed to kick your ass until you improve your skills enough and stats enough to be able to go through and do what you need to do. I've continued, surprise, I've been continuing playing Apex. Hilariously, I had a game where all 3 of us crawled the entire game, like crouch walked the entire game. Like organized completely wordlessly. And we just like crouch walked the entire game, even through when we were stuck in the zone.
Oh, okay.
Like to get to the safe zone, we crawled through it, and we got to the last team, and we were the second last team eliminated, so we got top 2.
Okay. So 2 by just crawling. Okay.
So that was hilarious. And then one of the dudes, we were like, yeah, GG's, came real close.
Yep.
And one of the dudes typed basically, he who stands shall not be worthy of winning. And I was like, yep, that's amazing. And it was just one of those really hilarious, like completely organic moments that just came together. It was just hilarious.
Yep.
Continuing on with my playthrough of Neo 2. Because it like when I wrote this down, it had been a couple of weeks since I played. So it's really easy to get worked in that game when you haven't played it for a couple of weeks. But I have just kept moving the story forward. That game's still really good. It is a very good one of those. And I'm very, very close to buying Sekiro on the summer sale on Steam. It's $45. Yeah, on PC. I played it on PlayStation.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And Resident Evil 2 Remake is like $23 on Steam as part of as part of the sale.
Okay.
I did succumb to the sale, so we'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, Neo 2 is still really good. Gods Will Fall, which was a game from this year.
Oh, that rings a bell. Yeah, actually, that's on. Is that a roguelike?
Rogue Souls-like.
Okay. Yep.
Basically, you have a group of 8 or 9 survivors who rock up on an island off a boat crash.
Yep.
And those are your, for lack of a better term, lives.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But they had their individualized stats and weapons and things like that.
Okay.
So you go from you have an overworld and then you go into a cave, and then if you die in that cave, you become trapped. So the next person has to go in to save you.
Okay. Yep.
But obviously, if all 8 people die, then that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So that was really, really unique to handle that death mechanic. But I think I wiped once, maybe twice.
Okay. Yeah.
And then my third run, I finished it.
So if you're wiped, then you're basically back to the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. It's game over. Go back to the main menu. Go again.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, I finished it on like my second or third go through.
Okay.
But if you know the sort of Souls games, then it's a little bit easier to make that happen.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you're not paying attention, you're not up on your shit, you will get crushed.
You'll get crushed. Yeah. Good chip, sir.
Sorry, go on.
Good chip.
Thank you. It is really short, particularly when you get rolling in. Your party gets bigger and strong. More important, not bigger because you don't get more characters. But I really enjoyed it. It got mixed reviews, but PC Gamer reviewed it quite strongly. Yep. So that was what convinced me to buy it, and then I played it and I really enjoyed it. Mate. Knockout City.
Oh yes.
I gave that a go, and I haven't gone back.
That could have answered.
It's not that it's bad. It's like interesting mechanically and things like that. But I've got Apex.
Yeah, so you've got a game that's already doing similar stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the sort of three team multiplayer shooter with cosmetics, all that sort of stuff. So it's I don't need Knockout City, but it is completely enjoyable.
Yep.
So yeah. Everhood, which came out this year. You can straight away you can tell that they were influenced by Undertale. Not necessarily in a bad way, but you can absolutely tell.
Yep.
But it's got rhythm hell combat. So you have to do these it's like this sort of grid like Guitar Hero, but it's almost bullet hell like, in that you just very, very quickly trying to move across the keyboard and all that sort of deal. And it's only it's only directions and spacebar.
Oh, okay. So simplest controls.
Yeah. But the difficulty descriptions really didn't sit well with me. It describes medium as for those that don't like to lose, which is that's a really great rate. It'll sort of look down your nose at the dude playing the game.
Yeah.
It's like a real good sort of middle finger going, and the difficulty levels don't do anything to change the patterns on the note highway. It just reduces the amount of health each hit takes from you.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, yeah, nah. It has that sort of passionate sort of story that Undertale has, but the combat was just like, nah, fuck this. I got better things to do. I got better things to play. It's just, like just something about it. I think it was that rhythm combat. It wasn't clicking with me, so I haven't gone back to it. I uninstalled it. Where I think the idea. Oh shit! I fucked that up. The idea was definitely interesting, but yeah, just the way it goes about certain things, I just didn't like.
Yeah.
Started on the old Loop Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Loop Hero. I'm still not up to the number of hours that Mike's put into that thing yet. Because he's played that thing for like 60 or about 30 or 40 hours, maybe. But the narrative setup and the writing's really, really good. And it's just that it's a really good game for when I'm watching something on the second screen.
Yep.
Because the only paying attention you have to do is to like resource management and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
So that's really enjoyable. Dusk, which those who are familiar with the lore of the Should I Play This Game podcast might remember that I played Dusk 2018. It's an old school first person shooter. Which I don't know if it was an update that fixed the issue I had with it, where the end of the basically third level had a hole in a wall that I couldn't see. And I spent like 45 minutes running around trying to find it, looked it up, and I was like, you dickhead. And it was simple. I don't know what changed, but it was way easier to find the second time.
Okay.
So I ended up playing through the whole thing.
Okay.
It is, yeah, it's just a good classic style, like Quake style first person shooter. And I finished it. It took me about 12-ish hours. Yeah, it doesn't go Doom. It's more Quake than Doom.
Okay, yep.
But it is very, very, I really enjoyed it this time around. Like I said, I think there might have been an update that was done to maybe fix the lighting or something to make that hole easier to see.
That thing easier to see, yeah.
So I don't know what it was, but yeah. Old PGA, which we are currently playing. I had my most real world round ever. Where I got back-to-back holes of 8 shots. I just completely fucked it. So I was like, whoa. But yeah, I'm much like the old Tiger Woods games. I'm just walking through tournaments. Like just at the point where I like win some tournaments by 10, 15, 20 shots. I'm never in jeopardy, but it's still just good. Again, second screen video watching.
Yep.
I have finished Far Cry New Dawn, which I can't remember if I'd started that before we'd done one of these last.
Don't think we have, no.
No. So I went back and played the Ubisoft Plus version.
Okay, yep.
I think New Dawn might actually be my favorite Far Cry game out of what's been released.
Even better than 3?
Better than 4.
Oh, okay.
Even. I prefer the setting. I like the sort of nuclear fallout stuff.
So this was after 5 or
Far
just
Cry
after
5.
4? Okay, this was
after 5.
This is after 5, okay. And did it
Not
follow
a
on
DLC,
from 5 in any way?
Joseph Seed is in it.
Oh, he's in it, but okay.
So there are definite links back to, and it talks about like you know how 5 where you're looking at Joseph Seed and all the bombs go off and you're like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Yeah, that. It's after. It's like 20 years after the bombs went off.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah, I like that map. I like the sort of Americana elements of it. I like the sort of ramshackle built weapons that they go for.
Does it have the same stupid mechanic that was in the main game where you just all of a sudden take out the game? Okay.
No. The hunting isn't. Yeah. It doesn't have quite the same hunting in that you need to get X number of skins to build your wallet up and all that sort of deal.
Yep.
It's more about resource finding in the world.
Yep.
But yeah, I really, really like Far Cry New Dawn.
Actually might be worth looking at. Yeah, okay.
If people haven't played a Far Cry game in a while, and even if I think having played 5, I think you will prefer.
Yeah, well, the fact you're saying that it doesn't have that bullshit where you get taken out of the game randomly.
Yeah, no.
I think that's very appealing to me. And even if there's no story follow-on from the first, like the main game of 5, then other than the end of it, then that sounds like a good thing I could jump into and not really be missing much if I hadn't played the 5th one.
Yeah. I mean, if you can remember who Joseph Seed is, then you're all good to go.
Yeah, I remember him, but I obviously didn't finish it, so.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I think that it's perfectly viable to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, like I said, it's probably my favorite one of the Far Cry games.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just hit this shot. Oh, that was a little too quick, but it's all right. It landed all right.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Which is the new Guilty Gear game that came out a couple of weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, the game's always been a visual thing for sure.
Yeah, the Ark games always look fantastic, and god damn, this one looks amazing. The only non-online stuff I've done is the sort of tutorials and the mission stuff, which are basically extended tutorials.
Yep.
And then I just went online. So outside of the first hour, my time spent with the game has been all online. I've got a character. It's not the one I would have thought I was going to enjoy, but I really like him. He's Faust.
Yep.
He's this big, gangly, like doctor-looking thing with like a big scythe. I started badly. Oh shit, that wasn't great. Didn't start great, of course, because those Ark games in particular, they have an established fan base. But I have had some success. But I haven't really played it that much, just because, again, trying to like sticking with Apex, trying to maintain and keep up with a fighting game like Guilty Gear, and play all the other shit I want to play. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
But I do like. It's not that Guilty Gear Strive is a bad game. It is good. I like it. But in order for me to play what I want to play, something's got to give at some point.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Overboard. Have you heard about this?
Rings a vague bell.
So the developer of 80 Days, which is like
the puzzle game on iPhone, I bet.
Yeah, I think it's kind of puzzle interaction-y sort of thing.
Yep, another one.
Yeah, they made and released it and didn't announce it. They just go, "Hey, we're done." And it's got a cool hook in that it's like an anti-detective game.
Okay.
And that you're the wife who's trying to get away with murdering your husband on a boat.
Okay.
And part of that is going through, and you can go through and kill like people who like you can kill the the cabin boy and take his key.
Yep.
All that sort of deal. But I've played maybe an hour of it, and I've basically I'm done with it because in order to get more achievements and do more, I have to go through and kill every person and just have it play out in certain ways.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's very interesting, but I don't know if I'd follow it through. I won't follow it through to the end. I'm sort of just done with it. It's good for short bursts, though.
Yeah. Yep.
After After we recorded the E3 review, started and finished. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
I have heard of this game. Yes.
It is a very short. I finished it in like 2-3 hours. A very short Zelda-like that is really well written and probably has the best credit song since Portal.
Oh, okay. Big statement. That's big.
It's fantastic. And like how games like that have like sort of collectibles.
Yep.
The collectible sort of mechanic comes in the very first thing, and that you get from Mayor Onion, you get your tax bill, and you can either choose to read it, which puts the text you can already read just in readable sort of more normal typeset.
Yep.
And then rip. So it literally rips it in half.
Yep.
So every collectible you find in the game, you read and then rip it in half.
Okay.
And there's I can't remember how many documents, but I end up finding them all because you need to find them all before you can unlock the true final boss, which is not hard.
What's the mechanics of it? What are you doing moment
it's
to moment?
Zelda.
What's that?
It's like Zelda, Link to the Past.
Okay.
So it's top down. Oh shit. Worked out. Oh no! Dick. Yeah, it's top down. You're sort of making your way through. Like you got a little sword, and you're finding new abilities and stuff like that. It is just a much more condensed version of it. That's much more parody.
Okay. Yep.
But the parody is very well done. yeah, the only achievement I didn't have was to get all the health upgrades, which was there was only one I was missing, which was just off a path that I never went down.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, for like it was, I think I've got it on special for like $18.
Okay.
But absolutely well worth it.
Mm.
We might actually might not need another round. We'll see. So as part of the Steam sale, which fuck. See, this is why I went. I had 2 8-shot holes. I bought the store after we talked about Stalker, the original Stalker games. After the review, the E3 review. There we go. Because Stalker 2 is coming out next year. On the Steam sale, you can buy all 3 of the Stalker games. So Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Call of Pripyat for like $18 on Steam.
Yep.
So I've played about just over an hour and a half of Shadow of Chernobyl. Just because I was like, I want to go back to that. It has a very specific feel and way of like structuring the game.
Yep.
And it's also 15 plus years old. And you can tell. But yeah, it's fucking rough as well. There's no, there we go. No auto saves except for after you finish quests.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you die in the wastelands, then you fucking lose progress.
Yep.
So you kind of have to save scum a little bit. It is it's a very much a product of its time.
No, for sure.
But it's still an interesting artifact in that first-person shooters you didn't have open-world first-person shooters back then. And obviously they've tightened things up a lot. I haven't played Clear Sky or Call of Pripyat yet. I've played all I'm going to play of Shadow of Chernobyl. Just I know that game's not ridiculously, but I know it's long.
Yep.
But it is. I think it's absolutely worth it if people have a curiosity before 2 comes out to at least dabble in one of them. So there's that. Skate City, which is the console and PC port of the Apple Arcade game.
Yep.
Fuck.
Oh,
that's water.
Oh, yep.
Oh, no. Wait, where am I? Oh, yes. So I played a bit of that and it's fine. It's good for what it is, but what the fuck?
What the hell? So we'll just break out of our podcast to explain what the hell's happening. So Steve's just hit off the 17th tee into the water and has somehow managed to figure out to placing his ball behind a big, massive stand, and I have no idea how he's going to do this shot. He's 103 meters from the, and he's just hit the top of the. He's just hit the top of the.
What the fucking fuck?
What the gap?
Fuck?
Go through the gap.
No, I'll just hit it over. Fuck it.
Oh, that was really
I'm fair enough back now. So yeah, it's fine. It's not better than Ollie Ollie. Ollie Ollie is a much better game than what Ollie Ollie is. There we go. It's over.
Yep.
I don't know why the fuck it put me back there after putting it in the water. What a dick. And the next game, the last game I played for this week, I haven't quite started Chicory yet. I've been very, very close to starting it, but Backbone.
Oh yes, I've seen this. I think I've got it. I think I've got that wish listed. I think
it's on Game Pass.
Oh, it's on Game Pass. Oh, okay.
And it's on Game Pass on PC.
Okay. Yep.
So it's a sort of noir detective crime thing with anthropomorphized animals. Sort of gets into race a little bit when you're trying to get into a nightclub that's exclusively for dogs and cats, and you're a raccoon. And they start sort of getting a little racial. They don't go to the obvious place with a raccoon, which is nice, but it's definitely boom. It definitely has those sort of connotations to it. Obviously, because it's a noir game, you've got your the shitty protagonist who's kind of a substance abuser and all this sort of stuff. But you start off trying to figure out what happened to a lady's husband who's been doing the dirty, and it goes from there.
Yep.
I played about hour and a half, and it's meant to be about 3-ish, 4-ish hours. But it's pretty good. So that's what I've played. Now there's also what I've watched. So I have completed my watch of South Park.
Okay. Yep.
On Prime. In season 18, so this shows how far back it's been since we talked about this, because I'm talking about season 18 of South Park, and there's 23 of them on Prime, and I finished it a while ago. So let me just draw T off. There we go. That's much better. Boom. So season 18, they make the change to maintaining season-long story arcs.
Okay, yep.
Rather than having just serialized, completely unrelated episodes, which the change is actually really well done. Because the storylines are actually compelling. Like Cartman gets a girlfriend and he hates it. But then she breaks up with him and he cries and threatens to kill himself. Because of course he does, because it's Cartman. When she tries to get him a vegan and he feeds her fake vegan food, like beyond KFC.
Okay.
And beyond Arby's. And then his girlfriend turns into a female version of Cartman. It's the funniest shit. It's fucking hilarious. And there was one other episode where they did barbershop quartet versions of quote-unquote old songs because they were performing for old people. But they were barbershop quartet versions of Cypress Hill's Insane in the Brain, Milkshake by Khalees, and Rape Me by Nirvana. And they're actually really good. They're legitimately good songs. And I am about halfway through season, again, showing how long it's been. I'm halfway through season 5 of Parks and Recreation. That show starts off very Office.
Okay, yep.
Which the same dude who was the showrunner for The Office is the showrunner for Parks and Rec.
Okay, yep.
So you can see it's pretty obvious why.
Yep.
But it's really well done. I actually prefer it to The Office once it gets going. It's really funny. It's just a shame that Chris Pratt's kind of a dick. Not in the show, but in real life. Apparently he's a bit of an asshole. So that's my TV watching. But there's been movie watching, Graham. But before we get to the movie watching, we have come to the end of this round. So we need to get to a new round.
Yep.
So
I'll
create.
We'll just for the podcast listeners. Steve got 14 under for a score of 57. I managed to get to 6 under, which I think is actually pretty good because I haven't played this game in like 6 months, if not longer. With a score of 65. So yeah, constantly heavily beaten, but yeah, that was actually quite fun to do that. All right, we'll go again.
Oh wait, these were what the? Oh, okay. I couldn't find the button for the next page. So now we're just in the process of setting up for the next one. How about, so we just did the TPC Scottsdale. Sawgrass is a very iconic one. What else is there here? Let's have. I haven't looked through. I haven't played all of the official courses in here, so I don't know. The House on the Cliff. That's a great name for a course.
How about you set one up? You set one up.
I'm in the process of doing it. I'm just checking out the courses. I'm going to say we do the House on the Cliff.
Okay.
Because that sounds like a pretty cool one. Wait. Oh, yep. There we go. Okay. Same as before. For getting in. So, while you're getting in, I have watched, since we last spoke, Fast and Furious 7.
The one you've been putting off for ages, I believe, if I recall.
Yes, I have been putting it off. So they retconned the stinger where they put from Tokyo Drift, where they have Jason Statham kill Han. They do it fairly well, and they actually find a way to bring Bow Wow and the other dipshit in for Fast and Furious 7.
Okay.
They had hydraulics on a car to bounce a hacker that Dom was driving to get away from bad guys, to bounce her into the sunroof and drive away. Which is the epitome of get fucked. And then they have Paul Walker do some Nathan Drake shit to get off a bus that's falling off a cliff. The end got me, but it was always going to. The end was, it was well done. How are there I fuck that up with the? Oh, screw off. And so after that, because my mates and I had talked about going to see Fast 9, I followed it up. I think I can't remember what the time period between 7 and this was, but I watched Fate of the Furious. From the first race of that movie, you can tell how stupid that movie is going to be in like the best way. They take this shitty old beta that Dom's cousin in Cuba has, jury-rig the shit out of it to just be the. Well, I don't know how it works, but like it's amazing. It's hilarious how amazing it is. They have The Rock lead a bunch of 12-year-old girls and a haka, which that's really funny. The fact that Tej becomes like this massively skilled hacker in the course of like 6 movies from like some weird dude who ran a bunch of street races to a hacker is hilarious to me. Whoa, this is mad downhill. All right, let's go 7. What else is there? So have you seen? Oh shit! Have you seen Fate?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into all.
Those movies all blur into one sometimes for me, so I haven't seen.
They're so dumb and it's great.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into the main plot points then, because I think some of them you need to actually witness for yourself. But there are some amazing set pieces in that thing.
No, that's what those movies are based on.
Yeah.
Really
There's a couple of really. One or two of the plot points are kind of dumb and a bit cliche. But again, like you said, it's what these things are. All right, let's try not to fucking hit this bitch off a cliff. That went all right. And so I've watched that, and I watched Fast 9 at the cinemas.
Yep.
And holy hell, that thing is amazingly stupid in places. So you've seen the trailer, yeah?
Yeah.
Where they do the car swing from the broken bridge?
Yes.
I stood up and clapped when that happened. Well, I planned that because I said that going in that I was going to do that, but just because of how stupid it was and the way they ended that, I thought that'd be really funny. And to me and my mate, it was.
Do you want to arrange that?
No idea. Don't care. I'm not going to comment on the way they brought Han back.
Okay.
Because people who've seen the trailer know that Han comes back, and they actually do explain it. I'm not going to say anything beyond that. John Cena is actually fairly good in that movie.
Okay.
He doesn't need to be more than basically Dominic Toretto, but a former professional wrestler.
Is God, remember the Charlie Theron? Is that one? Is he in this one as well? Okay. I found her character a bit weird in when she. What's she? Cypher Field or something?
Yes, Cypher.
Yeah, I didn't find her character particularly good in the first time she appeared, but
she's basically Anonymous. If Anonymous was an individual who basically wanted to control the world.
Okay. Yeah.
And much more violent. So the way they bring her back is actually really quite intelligent, and she kind of gets away again because of course she does, because there has to be a Fast 10.
And
for those who haven't seen it, hey?
And 11 and 12.
Fuck, they keep doing Fast and Furious movies through to Fast 36 for all I give a shit. Yeah. They're amazing. There is a post-credit scene.
Okay.
Ooh. Fuck over it. All right. So the post-credit scene is fairly solid. But there are a couple of plot holes. Just don't worry about those. And there is a reference to Brian O'Connor, aka Paul Walker.
Okay.
He's still not Brian O'Connor is not dead in the fiction.
Okay.
And they actually make use of that. There's no on-screen portrayal. But there are a number of referrals to Brian, and there are a number of callbacks to the early elements of the series, because Justin Lin's back.
Okay. Yep.
The one thing that was really disappointing is that there's a cameo from Cardi B, which that makes me sad, but whatever.
But
man, yeah, that is a great stupid movie.
Oh, they all are really in reality.
Absolutely, they are, but in the best way.
Oh yeah, they're good at what they are. But
they're amazing.
They very much are what they are. Like, there's nothing more to them than what you see on the trailers.
And you don't need them to be more than
no,
that because
exactly.
God
That's
damn.
yeah.
One thing that was really amusing is that a bunch of trailers that showed before the movie all had 2020 dates.
Oops.
So like, it's like Black Widow coming to cinemas April 2020. It's like, wait, what? I don't know if you know this. Calendars are difficult, I know, but so the Black Widow movie looks alright.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one that looked pretty cool too, but I can't remember what it's called. Oh, shit. So yeah, that's been my last few weeks. And I'm gonna look at knocking off Backbone and try and put some work into Chicory before the holidays, because I really want to do Resident Evil Village, and I want to start on Assassin's Creed Valhalla in the holidays. Like I said, I did succumb to the Steam sale in a few different times or a few different ways. Oh, before waiting for Fast 9, I bought the Game & Watch Mario.
Of course you did.
Of course I did, and I also pre-ordered the Zelda Game & Watch.
Okay.
But on Friday night, I bought the Stalker bundle and I bought Strafe Gold Edition. So do you remember Strafe? It was put out by Devolver a few years ago. You realize it's your part, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I still don't know how I can.
Trying to read it.
I don't know how to do multiple putt previews. I did one, but I can't get a second one. But I've got set to unlimited, so I don't know why. I don't understand that. Anyway.
Yeah.
I've got it set to unlimited, but I only get to do one every green, which is freaking annoying.
Oh, maybe you had to do it before going into the match.
No, it was set to unlimited in the settings. I checked it before we started. So I don't know what's
that's weird.
Doesn't matter.
So yeah. So I played a little bit of Strafe as well. It's fine. I bought that for $7, so I don't care. So that was on Friday night, and then yesterday I bought Phantom Abyss, which is the asynchronous multiplayer game that Devolver just put out in early access, which looks really cool. Lego Builder's Journey, which is the ray trace Lego game that just came out.
It's like a puzzle game, sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That was $30, so that wasn't on special, but I bought it anyway. And what was Tower Unite? Because I thought that'd be funny. And I could that's it. That's the extent to my Steam sale purchasing right now. I kind of want us to do a video of Tower Unite.
Certainly can do it.
Have you seen it before?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
Like, it's kind of an MMO. You don't need to interact with people, but it's basically you get put into this city and there's a casino and there's like mini golf and a whole bunch of other stuff. And the Steam Workshop support is ridiculous because you can be the car from Initial D.
Oh, that's not good. Oh dear.
And yeah, it's like $20. So I'll mess around with that, no doubt, at some point. But that I would have thought I would have bought more from the Steam sale, to be honest, but I haven't. And you haven't touched that yet, have you?
I've looked at it the other night, and there's just nothing I need to buy, so I'm not going to buy anything. I mean, there's no point.
Hey, there's nothing I need to buy, but I still did.
No, but even then, I'm not going to spend money just for their spending money, so there's no point. So.
And Dad, I like Phantom Abyss and the Lego game, Lego Builder's Journey. They're both this 2021 games.
So that Lego game, actually, I've seen screenshots of that. It does look really kind of visually very interesting. So
ray traced Lego. What more can I say? Like, bring it on. That's not bad a shot. So yeah, and yeah, Tower Unite's a 2020. Well, no, it's not. It came out a while ago, actually. But yeah. So, what hole are we on?
You're on the third hole.
There we go. Right. Oh, right, third, and then yeah, this is your fifth shot. I got confused for a second. So hey, I don't know if you know this, but E3 happened, so there hasn't been much in the way of news. So we don't need to talk about that. But there is a list that Kotaku put up of every big game coming out in winter 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to go through all of it because that would be dumb, and there's plenty of games in there we don't care about. But while we're finishing off this round, see, this is where chipping from there does nothing. That's where you switch it to pitch.
Yeah, I did do on pitch, and I was pitching into the bank, so who knows?
Oh,
this is ridiculous. Yeah, keep going. Just talk.
Yeah. So I thought we'd go through some of the games on this old that are coming out, the Australian winter. You did mention before we started recording. There you go. You mentioned before we started recording that we've already done this a couple of times, but there are some obvious new additions and some confirmations and things like that. So this list starts on June 22nd with Lego Builder's Journey, which I've bought. Have you touched Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance yet?
No, and I've seen footage of it, and I don't think I ever will.
PC Gamer has a very, very strong review of it, but it's like one of the only ones.
I saw a video review by SkillUp, an Australian YouTube personality. It looks broken as hell.
Yeah. From all reports, it's rough.
So either people are just ignoring that stuff, or there's different.
They just didn't have it come up. I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but based on what I saw, there's no way in hell people should pay money for that thing.
Well, it's on Game Pass, so you don't need to. Then Mario Golf Super Rush came out on Friday, which you've bought.
I've bought, yes.
I have not bought that yet. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it before I buy it, I think. And Scarlet Nexus came out, and man, that thing is getting some surprisingly positive reviews. It's the new game from Bandai Namco. Kind of action RPG mixed with JRPG and visual novel elements. It's been surprisingly well reviewed. I kind of want to get in on it, but it's also 40 to 60 hours long. So, a little bit of difficulty there.
Ah, crap.
Oh no,
this is not gonna be good.
This course is rough.
This course is just freaking weird more than anything.
Oh, there's that too.
Oh my god, I'm waiting.
But it's an official course.
Yeah, it's not a real one though. I don't think.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh my god.
Do you remember how to put?
Oh.
Get fucked.
That was me. I didn't do that on purpose. They just did it because of where I was hitting it from.
Okay. Do you remember how to put backspin on a ball?
No.
LB.
Okay.
LB brings up the plane, and that allows you to shape shot, so you can do the draw and fade, and then backspin, topspin. Right. Heavy rough, 73 to 80%. Let's go from there. Oh shit! This is gonna be not pleasant. Fuck. All right, let's go from there and see what happens. Ooh. Fucking hell. Anyway, back to the list. A Plague Tale Innocence is $15 on Steam. Is it worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
But again, it's finding the time to play it too, which is goddamn it. Monster Hunter Stories 2, July 6th. Meh. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Are you interested in that?
Skyward, not really.
Yeah.
I wasn't really. I'm not. Yeah. I don't have much nostalgia for any of those sort of Zelda games. I've never played them, so. Yeah, like if it turns out to be, if it's just a good game, then I might consider getting it. But yeah, I'm not getting it because I've played it in the past because I haven't.
What the hell's Last Stop?
And on your list.
I can't remember what that is. Last Stop. Video game. Supernatural adventure video game published by Annapurna. Okay. Tribes of Midgard comes out on July 27th. That thing looks awesome. That's that Viking game that was shown a couple of different times. Shown during the Keeleys and somewhere else. It's like you mentioned about, I can't remember what the demo you mentioned was, but it's got a bit of Valheim vibe to it, but it also has the top-down sort of roguelite-y element.
Yep.
That got buried. Which I'm really looking forward to that. Death's Door is on this list, which is weird. Flight Sim hitting the Xbox on July 27th, which you're all over that. The Ascent on July 29, which Game Pass.
Yeah, that's looking really cool. I'm looking really forward to that one.
So I'll be getting that. Just it's on Game Pass, so whatever. And Blaster Master 03. Now I bought 1 and 2 for like $5 each on Steam because I'm an idiot. We forgot to mention this during the E3 review. Godfall's coming out on PlayStation 4.
Is it? Oh yeah, I did read that. Yeah. So the game that they said the game they said couldn't be done anything other than PlayStation 5 is coming out on PlayStation 4. That makes sense.
It's being done. The game they said couldn't be done is being done.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Because of course it is.
It just proves how no one can buy a PlayStation.
There is that much too. Skatebird comes out on August 12th. You've played the demo for that, haven't you?
No.
Okay. I don't think it's as good a skating game as what people are maybe hoping it is, but so yeah. Hades on the consoles, on the PlayStation and Xbox consoles on August 13. Humankind on PC has a similar Civilization vibe, so I think you might dig that maybe. How do you feel about the Civ games?
I've never played them, so I think they might be a bit too much for me, if I'm honest. Like I think they might be just a bit too serious or something. Not too sure how to describe it, but yeah.
I think maybe 5 or 6. If you went for 5 or 6, that might be a good indicator because they come down pretty cheap most of the time. 12 Minutes comes out on August 19. That is a Graham sign me up game, isn't it?
Yep. It's on Game Pass as well.
There is that too.
I think it might be one game I might actually just go out and straight up buy.
Yeah.
It's as good as it looks.
Yet another one of Annapurna's sort of stable of games, which they're building out, just quite a nice sort of quiet little. Oh shit! I fucked that up.
Yeah, they're coming up. They're becoming a sort of a anti-Devolver Digital kind of stuff, if you know what I mean. Like in terms of the games they're producing and putting out. An
interesting portfolio, but they're all very serious.
Yeah, exactly, and they're very good and very good quality stuff. But they're
Madden 22 on August 20. Graham.
Nah.
All right. Kena Bridge of Spirits on August 24. Sign me up. Assuming that turns out to be as good as what it's looking like it will.
Yep, that's on PC as well as PlayStation, I believe.
Yep, PlayStation 4, 5, and PC. It's on Epic for now. I don't know if it'll come to Steam. It might be one of those one-year exclusives.
Exclusive things, yep.
Kiwi on August 31st, which is the co-op puzzle game where you control kiwis. Like birds, not the fruit. Well, I don't know where I heard this, but someone thought kiwi fruit were kiwi bird eggs.
Okay, that sounds like an American
thing. Yeah, it does. But I thought that was really funny when I heard that. All right, let's see. 33 inches uphill. Fuck. This is taking me back to some of those Tiger Woods fantasy courses, this one. All right, did all right on that one. Riders Republic on September 2nd. Thoughts? I mean, we talked briefly about this last week, but...
I'm not so sure where I'm going to go with that one. I think it'll be wait and see, but... I mean,
Ubisoft Plus, so there's no harm there.
Is it on Plus, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Every Ubisoft game comes out Plus, dog.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm not too sure where I'll actually... I mean, I'll look at it because it's on Plus, as you just reminded me. But in terms of if I wasn't on any of those services, I'm not too sure I would. Maybe wait and see for sure.
Full price.
Yeah, exactly.
September. Hey, was that how much of a bastard was that to read?
I got one preview, so I knew what I had to do. It's fairly straight after that, so I was able to predict it pretty well. But
all right. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. That's not quite. No, that'll be. Oh, I left it just short. What a dick. Room for you to capitalize here, Graham, and get yourselves back. On September 10, Life is Strange: True Colors on everything.
This is the first episode I'm giving, the one that's free normally.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
What the hell? I'll be curious to see what they do with that. What the fuck are you doing?
Trying to get into this Can I get him?
Oh, okay. It's really weird because from my perspective, I'm not seeing where you're shooting at, so I just see you turn and like shooting on like an 80-degree angle almost off screen.
Yeah, because you'll know when you get into the hole what I'm doing.
Is the DSO dog leg, is it?
Oh, you could say it's a dog leg, yeah. It's almost like a 90-degree turn.
Fuck yeah. And then... Oh, I heard a little bit of flick of the leaves.
I did.
Oh, no.
This could be interesting.
If they don't consider this out of bounds.
Yep, out of bounds.
Wow. That you're right. That looks like a fucker. All right, let's do something stupid and see what happens. Because what did you take off that then?
Not quite a driver because like
you had a 3-wood?
3-wood or something like that, yeah.
And you went through the tree, so it sort of fucked you a little bit. I'm gonna go the 3-wood as well because my 3-wood goes 241 yards. So let's see what happens. Oh shit! All right,
you went for you lucky for bloody cart.
And I bounced off the path.
Bloody cart path.
Yeah, worry away, get it together on September 10. Yes.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Graham, WarioWare?
Oh, maybe. The thing is, I mean, the fact that I bought a Switch game to buy Mario is weird because I have not turned on the Switch in probably 18 months. So to buy a game on Switch is a bit weird for me.
That's seemingly the only other machine I'm going to buy games on until I get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I don't play the Switch anyway. I only ever played it as it was a game. As I was travelling for work, and that ain't happened for any time for a long time or anytime soon. So yeah, there's sort of no point buying it for the Switch at the moment for me.
I will probably still get that because I reckon that'll be good. How is the COVID situation over in Tasmania? Is it just that it's too cold so the fucking virus dies?
No, we've not had a case for 10 months, so we're fine. But the problem is that the rest of the fucking country's fucked still.
Yeah. And certain premiers are fucking stupid. Deathloop on September 14th on PlayStation 5 and the PC. Yes.
Not for me. No.
Yeah, because you could buy it on PC.
I could buy it. I have no intention of buying it. That's what I mean. Not because it's a PlayStation or anything. I have not interest in that game whatsoever. Does not appeal to me at all.
I like Arcane, and what Arcane's done, so I'm keen to see how they go with that. September 16, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction. Fuck no.
No.
This article's weird because it says summer ends on September 22. That's not what seasons are to me. Over here, seasons are like, hey, you go through to the end of a month. So I don't know why it ends on like weird dates, unless it's like the summer holidays for school and shit. But on September 23rd, Diablo 2 Resurrected on everything bar the Switch and Sable.
Oh, that's out then, is it? Oh, okay, yep.
I'm getting Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I just haven't pre-ordered it yet. I'll be getting that on PC. Yeah, that's looking nice, that is. And it'd be nice to play Diablo 2 again. Particularly the differences between 2 and 3. And I'll probably get... Sable's on Game Pass, isn't it? Or it will be?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, no! No! So yeah, that's the list as it stands. So for as much as we talked about, like, hey, 2021 kind of shaping up to be kind of it's looking solid. Not AAA solid. I don't think AAA has been big this year.
No.
Although this list also doesn't have October, November, December. But from a small game / indie game perspective, and like your III in cases like Kena. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's looking like it's still going to be a good year. And then there's next year. which is going to be bonkers. Are you going to try and putt from the rough?
No, I'm trying to get this bloody thing right. That's right. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Christ.
Ah!
God, that took... This was really weird.
You have a much better understanding of chipping than I do. Because I don't like chipping. Mainly for that reason, because I always come too quick on the swing through.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway.
That's it. That's it for the list, is it?
That's it for the list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only 3 months.
Mm.
And I didn't... There's games in there that I could have talked about, like, hey, Sonic Colors Ultimate. But I'm like, nah, not worth it.
No.
No More Heroes 3. No, not worth it. So yeah, there's some games on there that we could mention, but they're just either not coming out in places or they're not really games that we seemingly have an interest in. The great Ace Attorney Chronicles might be good because that's the first time that's coming out in the West. But I also don't have much, like you was mentioning earlier, I don't have much in the way of nostalgia for the Ace Attorney games. Or they're not even called that over here. It's Phoenix Wright. Well, that's a decent shot, that one. Yeah, and there's like Orcs Must Die 3, which, no thanks.
Oh, that was a good game in the early, like the first version of that.
The first one was good.
The first one was really good, but I don't know if it's really...
2 was more of the same, even then they sort of did it. Oh, F1 2021 on July 16, that'll be a you thing, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. There's obviously been music, but I haven't listened to the actual full albums to have. I can't remember what my last must-listens were, so... Well, I don't know if I mentioned Mental Cruelty or Worm Shepherd's albums last time, and they're both really good. And there's been a few other albums that have come out that I haven't listened to yet. So I got nothing to mention on that front. I think people should go watch Fast 9. Because man, that it was really funny. Went out with a few people from work because it was our school nurse's last day on Friday. Talked about Fast 9 briefly, and it's like, man, that thing's just legendary levels of stupid. And people looking at me like I'm crazy, particularly as an English teacher. It's like, aren't you meant to be like into all literary things and stuff like that? I'm like, fuck no. Give me Jackass or Fast 9 any day. I'm happy. So yeah. What else is there to talk about, Graham?
Been watching much of the basketball, the finals.
I do not have a vehicle to watch the basketball. I keep up on the results.
I thought you had the NBA League Pass thingy.
It's fucking expensive.
Oh, okay, you got rid of it. Okay.
In Australia in particular. Like, my brother and I split it going through Thailand or Singapore a couple seasons back. But I just didn't end up using it because watching a game of basketball is such a it's the same reason why I don't watch wrestling pay-per-views most of the time. A, because fuck the WWE for every other reason that I've already mentioned. But even AEW shows I don't order because 3 hours is such a time commitment.
Yeah.
But I do hear about the results, and I'd like keep the ESPN Gamecast running at work when there's games on. So I've already had conversations with people like some of the kids, like, oh, what do you reckon the fight, like, who's going through all that sort of deal? I'm like, dude, it'll be Phoenix versus Milwaukee, and it'll be Milwaukee winning because even though Phoenix has Devin Booker and Chris Paul, they have no one to stop Giannis. Chris Middleton and Devin Booker somewhat cancel each other out, but they've got nothing else. So I feel like it's going to be the coronation of Giannis this season. You've kept up on it? It's weird that it didn't make any sort of path deviation rolling over that divot. But anyway, you kept up on it?
I've been watching it, like not watching it, but I'm keeping an eye on just the scores and stuff. But who's winning what? But I sort of don't really follow the basketball to the extent that you do. I certainly don't know that. I don't know the players as well as you do. So I know of them, but not you know what's good, who's good versus other players, sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, I was just more surprised that the Clippers and no, not Clippers, the
Lakers
Lakers sort of went sort of out really quite early.
always was going to happen. As soon as Anthony Davis got injured, that was
Oh
always going
yeah,
to happen.
that's probably that's the main reason for sure. But
yeah, there was some noise on Twitter this morning, Sunday morning, about Portland hiring Chauncey Billups as their new coach.
I did see that. Yeah.
Because of his rape allegations from the 90s, I think. So some people are unhappy about that, and people having a crack at Damian Lillard for apparently pushing for and supporting his hiring. Which I've had this conversation with kids at work. Like I don't like the term cancel culture because I think it's a shitty catch-all that encompasses too many things. But yeah, everyone decides to lump everything into cancel culture, which is annoying. But yeah, I think there were a few people going, "Yo, I would have preferred Becky Hammond to get that job," and I'm like, "Yep, give her a job. She will get a head coaching gig as soon as she decides she wants one." And it'd be really interesting to see how a team led by a female actually goes. Like the Spurs respond really, really well to her. But I think the Spurs are made up in a very specific way to not have that sort of arrogant, oh, she's a girl, I'm not listening to her.
Yeah, well, they've got a very socially constant coach already in Popovich, so...
Pop would... I don't think Pop would have a problem like hitting anyone on that team if they decide, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, no, exactly, that's what I mean.
And like DeMar DeRozan is a good leader who doesn't really play that sort of shit. And I think the players know that Becky Hammond had a strong professional career in the WNBA. But yeah, it's there's elements of cancel culture that you kind of look back and go, yep, that makes sense. That person should be quote unquote cancelled for some of the stupid shit they've said and their shitty beliefs and things like that. But then other times you go, well, is that really... Oh, that's a solid putt from there.
Good effort, that one.
That looked like a fuck of a read too.
Yep.
Like I saw on Twitter last night that I can't remember how many times, but Sasha Banks, multiple time WWE and NXT Women's Champion, is at least liking and following anti-vaccination accounts on Instagram.
Oh god, okay, yeah.
And apparently the former Prince Devitt of New Japan, currently Finn Balor of NXT, has also followed those same accounts. And it's like, really? Like, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah, there's no cancel culture involved with that. You just stop following them. they're that stupid.
And like, I haven't followed I don't follow many WWE wrestlers anymore just because I'm so sick of that company. Like they had another round of like 16, right, releasing 14 to 16 wrestlers again.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of people that they just weren't using. It's like, what are you doing? But it's just weird. Like, I made a generalized tweet about it. It's like, sometimes it's better not to know some things about people whose work you respect.
Yeah, it's the old, or
sometimes it's good.
Yeah, like it just comes down to never meet your heroes kind of thing at some level.
A little bit, yeah.
So
here's something that's weird, and this is somewhat of a complete tonal shift, because I don't want to talk too much more about that because that's just annoying me. Is it weird to you that very little about Nextlander has been mentioned on the old Giant Bomb content?
No, they don't mention any other sites on there either. So why would they mention that? Readless, they are people who used to work there, but
yeah,
but they don't mention other sites, generally speaking. So I don't think it's a surprise at all.
Oh, yeah, okay. I kind of just expected them to say something. Like, oh, we heard they've got this thing going, props to them. Well, that sort of deal. I don't know. Have you heard the new content plans they've been working on?
I've heard of them, yeah. Like they've got video stuff being done by Danny the Dwyer and bringing Dan Reichert back in, and
They're doing a series with like Jeff Grubb and that.
Mary Kish and no, not Mary Kish. Tamor
Lucy
and
James.
Lucy O'Brien. Lucy somebody.
James.
Yeah.
Lucy O'Brien is IGN.
I do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So sounds very interesting, but you know, it's fascinating now seeing that
the shift
in they have to do a shift. I think they had to do a shift even if Alex, Vinny and Brad had stayed, because I think what they were doing just wasn't really what they wanted to do as a group. I think it's what they like. This is not saying that the content wasn't watched or anything like that, because it was. But I think they as a group of people had become bored of doing that at some level. At least I think definitely Jeff had.
Yeah, that seemed to be where the schism sort of happened between, for lack of a better term, the two parties, I guess. And that Vinny, Brad, and Alex seemed to be happy doing the streams, doing their podcasts, and just trucking along doing that little stuff. Whereas Jeff's sort of like, all right, how do we push this forward? What do we do different?
Yeah, I mean, complete speculation, of course, so we don't know for sure, and never will,
observation,
and never don't need to know, really. Not our business.
I'm just more curious than anything.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'm not too sure. I quite think there was a schism at all. I just think that at Vinny's age, like he's now in his 40s, he's got kids. His priorities are going to change. That's what that's really about. And even to a degree, Jeff's now different because he's now got a kid, second one on the way too. So
very close, I think.
Yeah, so even they're different, and they're now owned by Red Venture, so that's different again. So, so I kind of think that what they're now looking like they're going to do with the content they're doing now, obviously we know what that's really going to be like until it starts coming out in a couple of months. But it certainly does sound very different. It certainly has got the influence to me of Danny and Dwyer, because it sounds more production stuff rather than off the cuff stuff like your streams are. And maybe as you say, maybe the other guys just had no interest in doing that anymore, which is fine at their ages. That's what they want to do, or that's what they want to not do. Whatever. That doesn't mean they don't like them anymore or whatever. Just think that's just that's the nature. People want to change jobs. Don't like doing what they're currently doing. They do something different. Yeah. But it's interesting to see that they are so different. Like even putting aside, like obviously the content that they're doing currently right now collectively is very similar. Both are doing podcasts, both are doing streams. But once that sort of splits apart, it'll be interesting to see how they sort of go ultimately. Whether we start seeing on the Giant Bomb forums people complaining about the content like they always fucking do.
I don't look. I only look at the off-topic one and maybe general discussion every couple of months.
Yeah, I go in maybe once or twice a week just to see what people are talking about, because most of it's bullshit. It really is. It has been for ages. So but yeah, but I
wonder
if you signed up for have you signed up for it yet?
No, yeah, I keep forgetting.
Okay.
I'm going to try and hit this boat, Graham. Because I think it'll be funny. Or I'm going to try and bounce it off this pier. Let's see if I can hit this dude's car. Shit! Didn't work the way I wanted it to. Alright. I was curious. Yeah, something, I had an idea come up and I've forgotten. I hate it when that happens.
So I've been watching a lot of the Euros 2020, which is now happening in 2021, which is odd.
Yes.
That's what it's called. Holy one!
I'm not even going to get a credit for hole in one on that either.
No.
Because it's fucking stupid idea to hit that fucking car. I want to get an achievement for a hole in one for that.
You deserve every bit of that. Sorry.
I sure do. God damn it. Man, I'm pissed about that.
Uh-oh. Down the other side.
Were you watching when Christian Eriksen went down?
No, not because the time frame is just time zone is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I did watch that on. I watched like so I'm basically doing. I've got to watch 2 games this tonight after we finish recording. So,
Mm.
I watched the.
You don't have to. You're choosing to, but
I'm choosing to,
you know
but
what I mean.
yeah. So I watched every first round match in full. So all
Mm.
12 matches to get a sense of what teams are doing what, that sort of thing. Then watch highlights of every other one since then. And now I'm going to try and stay off Twitter and Facebook and websites in the morning, watch the games in full at night, and then
Yep.
get the results that way rather than try and get spoiled. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes.
It was. I will say it was because like
Oh yeah, go back to what you're saying. Yeah, so I watched the
yes.
replay of that match, not knowing what happened. And then the one that they did, I was watching on Optus because that's the only way you can watch it in Australia.
Yep.
They cut the whole thing out without any
Makes sense.
without any context of what was happening or why they did it.
That context would have been nice.
Yeah, so the context missing was the weird thing, not that they cut it out. Makes perfect sense. But yeah, so it's just really odd that like the game basically skipped forward a few minutes in time on the clock, and the commentator just said, "Oh, Ericsson's fallen over or something," and that was kind of it. Like it was completely. Then it just cut to the players are walking off the pitch, and I'm going, "What? There's something in the middle is missing there that they're just not filling in." So it was really odd.
Hang on a second. I will say it was like, while it's touch anxiety inducing, it was nice not feeling the need to open Facebook and Twitter during E3.
Oh yeah,
because I wanted to watch all those streams when I go home from work. I just didn't look at them during the day. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Which it's not like I need to look at those, but it's that idea where if you're not looking them up, there's things around the world that you're not going to know what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a weird break.
Mm. But yeah, the tournament's been really good so far. So we shall see.
I heard that one of England's first round games was very disappointing. I think it was a 0-0 game against Scotland.
Scotland, yeah, their second game was against Scotland. Yeah. The English press, dominates a lot of what we read in Australia, as you can imagine.
I just saw it on Twitter.
I'm watching the preview of this thing.
I bet it's fucking nuts.
Still
like
going.
A snake in it.
It's still going.
Is it just like rolling?
It's rolled down. Oh, you have to look at that when you watch it. Take your time, save about an hour 37 into the video. Oh, that was really funny. Oh, God knows how this is going to go. Here we go.
Badly, I think.
Yeah, not too bad.
That's not bad. That's a nice little lake thing behind it.
When you watch the putt preview, you'll get an idea what that was really like. Yeah, so
mine isn't too bad.
England are like they dominate what we hear in Australia because of they're England, so we get a lot of their stuff, but they're not being particularly impressive in my opinion. I think looking at it now, I kind of think that it might be Italy to win from this point on. But yeah, it's going to be pretty close.
What about the Germans?
What's that?
The Germans.
Yeah, a little bit. They're up against England next. I think they'll probably get past England. I think they'll win against England. They've been really hot and cold. That's really the odd thing about them. So I kind of think they'll hit a team that's actually just better than them, and that'll be the end of them. They won't be able to sort of get past that. They've got the players to them. That's the thing about like when you get to this sort of level of players now, like everyone's got the ability to beat anybody, sort of thing. Oh shit. So
anything you can hit it from there, mate.
It could go either way, but yeah, I kind of think based on what the first rounds of matches have been like, and I think it's going to be Italy to win it. All right, we're on the 16th hole of our second course here, so we're going to wrap up this round, and we'll wrap up the podcast with it. I'm now trying to play my second shot on the 16th after burying and putting it in the water. So we'll see if it happens.
Maybe you'll do what I did.
No, I'm going to do it again, aren't I? Nope, just inside.
Oh, it just held. Furbergy.
Asthmatic. You drive.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I want to try and bounce it off that rock feature. Dick. Anyway. Anyway.
So when does your school holiday start? It must be soon. 1 more week?
I got 1 week.
1 week, okay.
1 week, then I'm on the old holidays. The curse of it, an 11-week term. Hey, like, maybe I'll get early holidays.
Yeah. Just bring it up.
Maybe this whole Marsh shit might end up with me on early holidays.
Yeah. Anything's possible, is it, considering what's happened?
And everyone's like, oh, lockdown, man, what a bummer, what a pain in the ass. I was like, nah, perfectly fine for me. And like every time I say that, everyone just like looks at me and shakes their head. I was like, don't shake your head at me. I was like, why not? You're a dickhead. Okay. It's always funny though. Like people just come up, oh, what are you doing on the weekend, Steve? Mate, you don't need to ask that question, Oh, yeah, fair enough. Don't you ever want to do something else, or shouldn't you get out and exercise or go places? Nah, mate. Oh, fuck. I can go all around the world from the comfort of my computer chair. But yeah, nah. Yeah, I'm thinking I really want Resident Evil Village to be one of my holiday games. I really want Valhalla to be one of my holiday games. But with stuff like Chicory and like Neo 2 and things like that.
You know what's going to happen, don't you?
I'll probably just fucking play Apex most of the time.
Apex all fucking day, every day.
I'll start in Tower Unite at some point and just go hee hee and just running around there for like 8 hours. Maybe that if we don't do a the next week will probably be It Takes Two again. I was going to say the next non-It Takes Two video we do should be Tower Unite. Just because number one, it's only $20 on sale right now, and yeah, it's early access, but fucking the workshop shit is so easy to apply in that game, and just the complete lunacy of what you can see. Like again, the car from Initial D just sitting at a slots machine playing slots, fucking hilarious. I already know the first thing I'm going to look up when I open that thing and go into the workshop for it. I'm going to see if there's a CM Punk. I'll look up CM Punk. If he's not there, I'll look up Kenny Omega. If he's not there, I'll close Tower United. That's not true. I'll find something else dumb. But yeah, I like it's an interesting concept. It's like that the coin game that just ended up being like massive replications of a fucking arcade and shit.
Yeah.
And I could just make CM Punk dab, because why wouldn't
you?
Holy shit!
Everybody dab.
This is. Ooh. All right.
Oh
fuck! Thought I had that based on the read. Based on the pup preview, thought I had that, but I didn't. Good one, dickhead. Ugh. I laugh my ass off if you go from playing disc to going to play Mario Golf. That to me would be really funny. Jesus Christ. My scorecard looks fucking ridiculous for this course.
Well, that's it. We've played 2 rounds of golf. We've done an hour and 40 odd minutes. I got a glove.
Ooh.
And some money.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. I'm just getting money.
What level are you
basically
on?
have.
What level are you on?
Oh fuck, that's a good question. 38.
38. Oh god, I only just got to 6. Okay. That explains why you can hit it
Fair.
so bloody far.
Oh, look at this stat. Fairway regulation, 30.77%. I got more better greens in regulation than you did, though. Suck it, bitch.
I was better at putting than yeah.
Whatever. I still finished 6 under, so fuck you. Round stats. Here we go. Longest drive, 367 yards. Proximity to hole. Oh, you did better than me on that one. 1 putt percentage. 3 putt avoidance. Nice. Putt accuracy short. Putt accuracy med. Oh man, you did better than me in long putts. Par breakers, birdie conversion. What? Oh, after hitting green in regulation. Yeah, right, that makes sense. I bloody should have got hole in one scored.
No, you
should have been bloody 1.
Yep, but you got the longest scoring shot though, at 81.5 meters, which was that hole in one you got after putting into the water.
I hit the boat. What a dumb thing to do. Do you have a method to check emails?
No, I don't. So
just fuck it then. We're not doing them.
Yep.
All right, Graham.
Steve, this has been interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens on the old audio quality. Just saying, just quietly.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. It's still an adjustment process with the not using the Yeti on these sort of things.
Yeah.
Because headset microphones are a little bit different than the Yeti to set up and make sure they sound good and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're getting there.
Yep.
Things happening. All that sort of biz. Did I unlock something? Ooh, I unlocked clothing somewhere. More shoes. My dude, like the shoes my dude's wearing, literally the default Adidas shoes.
Okay.
Like I haven't changed them because all the other shoes I reckon look like shit. Whereas these Adidas look like basketball shoes. Like, these Under Armours look kind of like skate shoes, but nah. They look okay. Fuck it. I'm going to buy these Adidas shoes.
Before you do that, finish up the podcast.
Yeah, no, I just did that. So, yeah, thanks. Graham.
Steve.
We've talked.
We've talked.
Now we're going to stop talking.
Yes, we will. We'll be back next week with a Nick Takes 2 video.
Yes.
5th one, 6th one, one of those. Can't remember. One of those.
Technically 6, but actually 5.
Oh, that's true.
Because we had the lost episode.
Lost episode and somewhere in there. Yep.
Yeah.
We're back in a regular podcast in a fortnight's time. So thanks everyone for listening and watching, if you did that.
Whichever way you did it.
Whichever way you did it. Cool. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.